Hey team, Coach Patrick here. Once again, tuning in from my outdoor office because it's so damn nice. I'm going to be out here as much as I can until I have forced back inside by daylight hours, bugs, or inclement weather. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. We spent most of Sunday cheering on Michelle Swanson as she does Ironman Ottawa. Raise my evening cup of coffee, decaf, of course, to you, Michelle. Hope things are going well, and we'll keep posted with updates for folks. She's running. It is still early evening on Sunday, so she's got plenty of time to do all the races. So here, sip for you. I'm gonna give a shout out just to the other folks on the team. One of my favorite parts about race day is having people come together. I love getting the notifications on my phone and seeing the updates. So the more you cheer, the more you get cheered, my friend. So paying it forward always makes a big difference. So some administrative things here happening behind the scenes as we enter August, and I can't believe it's August. Month 8, it came in with cool weather. Like my metal chair is actually cold to the touch, which is gorgeous. My long bike ride this morning started off cool, and I wasn't dying for the first 2 hours, which was amazing. I hope some of you have taken advantage of this cooler weather for yourselves. But speaking of cool, I'm looking ahead. I've already booked, and you'll see it in Geneva in the calendar, the start of the November out season and the January out season, so you can start planning accordingly for winter training at its peak and what we'll be doing for next year. So out season is super important. So do yourself a favor, go check it out. Make sure that you have, I believe, November 5th and January 3rd, unless I've just gotten a little dyslexic there, lined up for you on the calendar so you can plan accordingly. We've had Patrick Marsh join us back, who's doing Unbound. So I put Unbound on the calendar because there is a lottery for that race. So you'll see that as well. And I'm actually putting together some resources for him. And if you haven't already, go check it out in the macro area, because I'm talking a little bit about season planning from I'm racing in 10 months. What do I do now? It's not quite out season. So what's on my table now? What can I do right now? The things that we're working with Patrick on are consistency right now, targeting some VO2 work in addition to volume. So a little combination, not just the straight VO2 we'll see in the winter. And then also body composition. Almost every single age group athlete over 50 that I talk to is talking to me about body composition, myself included. How do we start to dial it in? As a reminder, we have a course inside Endurance Nation. Actually, if you go to newmembers.endurancenation.us, you can see the courses. They're free for you. You can go ahead and take one of them. There is a primer on nutrition, as well as one on a sweat calculator. Sweat calculator is more for your exercise calories, but they are intertwined. So bear with me for a moment as I talk a little bit about this, okay? In fact, here, let me hit pause so I can have another sip of my, okay, that was super, super good. I nailed that one. Okay, so when we think about performance nutrition, they're intertwined as words, and we say performance nutrition because as an endurance athlete, you have higher expectations in your body than the average bear. If you ignore those expectations, if you decide to work around them, if you decide to use your tremendous willpower to, for example, work out fasted or deny yourself calories in the evening, even though you're really starving after a long day, your body starts to pay the price, right? Your body keeps the score, as people are wont of saying, and your endurance body is no different. And it only gets more magnified as you age. By doing work, you are burning calories and you are sweating, and you need to replace those elements to become successful as an athlete. Now, in order to show up able to do work, you have to put calories and fluids into your body as well. So how do we strike a balance? We think about it in a very simple framework. We think about, first of all, is who you are as a person. We figure out what your lean body mass is. And we'll say, okay, what do you need to eat on a regular basis? And you can do the math on those calories all the time. For me, my lean body mass is like 170 pounds-ish. And so from there, I'm like, what do I want to need to eat to maintain that body weight? And if I want to be aggressive, I will dial that down. Say I want to lose a pound a week, I'll dial my calories down by 250 on a daily basis and say, okay, I'm going to track and get myself down. And typically the way that I do that is I figure out what the number is. I do the math on the macros, and I get those macros all set up for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I only plan for a week. I'm not planning for the rest of my life. And I have to nail it for a week. And I'm going to get 3 out of the 5 days is actually not too bad. But I'm just sort of building the muscle of being intentional, thinking about my food. After a week or two, I'll be able to do a little more, and maybe even plan a little bit of a bigger window. Yes, food gets a little boring in this time because we're repeating meals because it's easier for us to keep track, but we're building that nutritional discipline. What about those exercise calories, Patrick? You're just talking about what you're eating on a daily basis. Well, on the exercise calories, if you haven't already done your sweat test, go do that now, because it tells you what you need to consume when you're working and when you're working out. When you have those numbers dialed in, we just follow the math. So let's say you're going to consume 300 calories or 350 calories an hour between your fluids and your food. Great. Then when you work out for an hour, you consume 350 because you're taking care of the 350 for your workout. Done. We net out at 0. So your daily calories, do the math on the body composition. If you're going to ride 5 hours, then it's just 5 times 350, which is 1750. In that case, you have to take 1750 of exercise calories, and then you just keep it your daily nutrition. You should be good. Now, plus or minus, you can have a little bit extra after a workout, maybe after 5 hours. But in general, that allows us to stay on track. So we're not really binging or eating a lot, because ideally you're finishing your workouts and even your longer workouts actually in a pretty good spot. If you're finishing your workouts and you are starving or you are just so thirsty, that's a great sign that you're not actually doing it right and you're missing some component of your nutrition. A reason why today's ride was great actually takes me back to Vermont last weekend. I was with Matt, and Matt had some oatmeal before we worked out, and I was like, that's interesting. Maybe I should eat before I ride, which is crazy because, of course, I have a pre-race breakfast, and of course, I would eat normally before I ride, but I've gotten into a habit of not eating. Have a cup of coffee, let's go, and I'll just eat something at minute 10. What's not happening is me putting any food in my body that I could actually use for fuel on these rides. And the whole point of having a good ride is to actually fuel first so I can crush my ride. Underfueled Patrick can only put out so many watts. Well-fueled Patrick has a great day. So made myself some oatmeal this morning, which is another precursor for a great workout. So just something to think about for yourself as well. Really separate your baseline nutrition from your workout nutrition. So as you move the workouts up and down, you can do that. And the benefit is your days are very boring or similar. So your breakfast is, say, 400 calories. If you can't get your regular stuff, your budget's about 400 calories. So you can actually plan accordingly and make decisions with some other version of that fuel, even if it's not your super duper precious, I plan this all out type of fuel. That allows you to stay on track with the calories, which allows you to build the habit. And the interesting thing is, because people will freak out a little bit about, I need to eat more or less because I'm not eating enough before my workout, blah, 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 is that the majority of athletes actually don't do a good job of fueling in a workout either. Right? It's hard to really overdose on gels or sport beans or power bars or Gatorade Endurance or whatever you drink. You just can only drink so much of it. So let's take advantage of that fact, because let me tell you, when you're having like M&Ms or you're having s'mores or you're having delicious gnocchi, like we had gnocchi tonight for dinner with some chorizo, it was fire. It's very easy to have 3 plates of that instead of just the 1 plate that you need. And so really being smart about that and building that reflexive habit to know this is my food that I consume on a daily basis. And then I always take care of my extra calories with the workout calories. Because we honestly, at the end of the day, we want you eating workout calorie food. If you're going to ride for 5 hours, I don't want you to be having like lots of bagels and planning for it that way. I want you to actually be eating lots of bars and gels and things that you're going to be working out with, because you need to get better at processing calories when you work out and using those calories for fuel. I guess you could stop in the middle of a long race and order a pizza or do something different, but hopefully that's a measure of last resort, or maybe if you're a social media star. So that's my little diatribe here on the nutrition side. It's the best time. Let me start again. The best time to deal with your body composition is tomorrow, like right away. Don't wait. Don't worry about like looking for a plan or do a thing. Figure out your lean body mass, do the math on your calories, and start planning out what that looks like for you, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and how you're going to allocate it. Remember that your willpower is all powerful, but use it wisely. Don't use it to restrict fuel during your workouts, because your body needs fuel when it's working out to perform at its best. Instead, use the willpower to make smart decisions when you most often make poor decisions. For me, it's in the evening, and boy, those times are coming now. It's almost 8 o'clock when the witching bell goes off, and all of a sudden, Coach Patrick tries to eat everything in the house that has chocolate inside of it. And so really important to use our willpower for those moments and not the time to deny our body the fuel that it needs so desperately. All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Remember, go check out the calendar in Geneva for those out-season start dates in November and January. The marketing push starts in a few weeks. It's hard to believe we're already going to start promoting the out-season as we go forward, but there's plenty of work to do left right now. Go check out Patrick's post inside the thread. See what other people are up to. I know Leadville's coming soon. Lots of good stuff going on. I can't wait to follow everyone. Thanks. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you.